Hey guys, it's Mrs. Carly. I told you this time I would talk about subitizing. Some people call it subitizing. And some of you are sitting there like, what the heck is that? So subitizing is just knowing a number of objects in a set without having to count them. So if I would show you, for instance, this on a die, you would know that that is 5. So that's what the goal is in subitizing, is getting kids to look at that and recognize it without having to count 1 to 1. So what is the goal and what are the benefits of subitizing? We have that it develops mathematical foundations and understanding of number as far as quantity is concerned. We can prep for more complex problem solving in the future through learning how to add numbers into given sets. So if I had 1 and I had 2, you wouldn't have to count that every time. You would know it was 3. And I held my hands up like this on purpose because sometimes you see sets that are a little bit odd looking. So you want them to be able to, you want your children to be able to look at it and know. So that is subitizing in a nutshell. So here's what I do in my classroom and at home. We play a lot of games. I do this about every 3 weeks with my students. Games are good for a lot of things, and I will talk about that in a separate video, but we use a lot of dice, and I use the game Blink, which I will discuss more later. I use Jack Hartman videos whenever I'm not explicitly teaching. So for instance, whenever I'm sending kids to the restroom, because I've got 2 restrooms in my classroom and it takes a good long time for everybody to get through. So I will turn on one of his subitizing videos. He has them from 0 to 5, he has them from 0 to 10. He is phenomenal. He has a video for everything. But it really gives kids a chance to look at numbers in sets and be able to identify them. It's a game, and it's a good way to fill time whenever kids are doing something like going to the restroom or you're having to wait for students for a while. I have a resource that I created, and yes, I wrote and hand drew all of it because I am apparently someone who likes to torture myself. So this is, you can see it's the number 3 and it has different sets on it. And I have numbers 0 through 10. What I do with that is I have the students set them up. Sometimes I only have them do 0 through 5. Sometimes I have them start with 1 through 5 because they don't have the concept of 0 yet. Sometimes I'll have them do 0 through 10. It just depends. And I use this resource in multiple ways. One way that I do this is I set up students in groups of 4 and I have them go around, and so the first student might pick off the 3 and put it on the 3. The next student might pick off the 10 and put it on the 10. And then after a certain amount of time goes by on my timer, I will have them stop what they're doing, and then I will have them review each other's work on the cards because it is a group effort and we want them to not just be right, but to also be able to explain their work to others. Other ways I use this resource, and again, you can find these cards online. I haven't made these for myself to sell, but these are what I use in my own classroom, but you can find other resources online. I will put them on a wall. I put Velcro on the back of each one and have them lined up on the wall. So I have 2 sets of them, 0 through 10 here, 0 through 10 here, and I turn it into a relay. And the kids will reach into the bag, pick out a piece, and run to the board and pop that on there to show what it is. And then once they get back to the line, the next kid can go. And again, that is a timed thing because if they went through the entire bag, it is a lot. I have created a lot of pieces for this. Another way that I do this, I have the fly swatter game, and I don't have fly swatters with me, but I can set out all the little individual pieces, and I might say, okay, swat a 3. Sorry, that's out of your vision. Swat a 3, and then they might swat it. And there could be multiple answers to this because maybe I have multiple representations of 3 out. So there could be multiple correct answers, and just acknowledge it and move on that they got it correct in different ways. I've also said that I would accept correct answers in this if you see something like this. I've never actually had this happen in class, so that's where I want to change my own methods. So I've got 1 and 5. You want the kids to be able to say, oh, that's 6 whenever it's together. You kind of get the idea, right? Okay, so what can you do in daily life? Turn things into a game or a learning opportunity without it being stressful. If you are setting the table, for instance, and you say, okay, we need this many forks. How many is that? And then your kid can say 3. That's great. If you hold up more than that and they aren't sure what it is just right off the bat, then you need to go backward a little bit and start a little smaller. You can do that with lots of things around your house too, not just forks. It was just something easy that I could grab out of my kitchen. Something else I do a lot at school and at home is play games. Here are some of the ones that I use in my classroom. Yahtzee, everyone knows it, everyone loves it. They have to know that there are matching Subitizing sets. Sometimes you may see 3 this way, or you may see 3 this way. But the point of it is that they have to know that those are both still 3s. And just because it's oriented a different direction does not make it something different. Another one I like to play is Tenzi. You can have your kids roll them out. You choose whichever number you see the most of, which in this case I guess would be my 2s. You can see that there. And then you keep rolling until you get all 2s or all 6s or all 3s or whatever it is that you happen to have. You can make this easier for smaller hands and children who are younger and make it a game of 5Z or 4Z or whatever it might be. You can change the game so that it's a race to see whoever gets to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 first, or whatever it is that you're looking for. But it is a race. There are different colors of dice. There are 4 sets of dice, so you can play this as a whole family. I've got green and purple here just to show you, but it is a race, so if my husband and my daughter and I are all playing together, we're racing each other to see who can get to that set first. Another game that I like to play is Blink. A lot of people haven't heard of this. The rules say that you're supposed to hold 3 cards at a time. I have modified this for my classroom so that they are only holding 1 card at a time. There are 2 piles in front of them, or 3 piles if I've got 3 children at once. And a note to other pre-K teachers, if you want to use this game, it does split evenly 3 ways, the cards do. So it's worth doing 3 at a time whenever you've got 20 or however many kids in your classroom and you're trying to get everyone playtime to get everybody through. You can match color, shape, or numbers in set. I will show you these because a lot of people don't know this one. All right, so there I've got 3 stars, and there I've got 5 X's. Can you guys still see this? Okay, I got a nod from my camera guy, so that's great. So let's say that this is the next card that someone draws. They can put it on the stars because it matches as a star. They can put this one on the star because it's purple, or the X's because it's an X. Now, this is where it gets to the sets. You could put this with the purple because it's purple, but your student might also see that there are 3 circles and 3 X's, so it's going to go here. And there are lots of different colors and shapes and sets on these cards. So that's just one way I really like to get at the Subitizing with the sets without it being too much at once. It can be used in a lot of different ways for matching. And I think that's about all I have for you today. So Subitizing, again, is just knowing a number in a set. It's something that you do every day and you don't even realize that you're doing it. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you.